Coming up on this edition of Speed Chronicles, IndyCar is back.
SIG Media presents Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis, powered by Rev TV.
Thanks for tuning in and checking out this edition of Speed Chronicles. We do it every Wednesday. It's available via podcast and, of course, on the Rev TV YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. You can follow us on all the usual social platforms as well. Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, all the others. Okay, where do you want to start? We'll save the IndyCar stuff for a second because that's the lead up to the start of a new season. And there's a few things I want to touch on there. But also, let's revisit a little NASCAR as the Cup Series has completed their second event at Atlanta Motor Speedway this time. Super fast, high speeds out on the track, which is what everybody likes, super exciting racing. And once again, officiating has become the talking and discussion point. Well, one of a couple of talking and discussion points, but it's very prominent once again because of an overtime caution flag that some thought maybe this shouldn't have been thrown. Is it consistent with previous rulings? What did I tell you last week? It's like the Nate Bargatze sketch on SNL Live. When does NASCAR throw a caution? Nobody knows. This is what's going on in NASCAR right now. Every time a caution flies, it is being questioned. This is the kind of inconsistency that nobody needs in motorsports. So hopefully they can move on because there has been way too much talk about officiating and throwing of yellow flags and should they or shouldn't they through the first couple of weeks of the season. The focus needs to be on the racing. It could have been a great three-wide finish once again at Atlanta for the Cup Series. Didn't exactly turn out that way because of the caution and the speculation of would they, could they, should they. So again, until they solve this issue and something else becomes more notable, then it's going to be the talking point. Well, one of the things that was another talking point, of course, is Carson Hocevar, who likes to push and shove his way through the pack and doesn't care who he upsets along the way. Aggressive young driver. Sometimes there's some learning that needs to be done with young drivers. Every race team manager or crew chief or anyone will tell you is that you would rather have an aggressive driver that you have to rein in a little bit as opposed to someone that you have to kind of give a kick in the pants to and say, come on, push, 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 get a little more aggressive, stick your nose in there. I would much rather have to temper someone's enthusiasm just a little bit. But Hocevar is getting people's attention, and it's not really a good way that he's getting people's attention. We'll see, again, if this continues and what goes on next. I want to talk about the other part of, it's sort of officiating, but sort of the way the rules fly. It's about racing back to the yellow, which was abolished a number of years ago. They did it for safety reasons. When you have drivers that are slowing down and you have others that are trying to race their way back to the caution to get a lap back if you had fallen a lap off the pace. It was a safety thing. We had drivers who were basically stopped out on track to let teammates go by and get a lap back. So I understand getting rid of that practice and simply giving a free pass to someone whenever there is a caution. I don't think they should do it during the stage breaks. But here's the other part of it. Michael McDowell went down 6 laps early in the race because he had some problems. And I get it. It happens. It wasn't his day. You go down a bunch of laps. They did get going and did complete the race. He wound up getting the free pass 6 times and finished on the lead lap. That seems a bit excessive to me. I understand the whole safety thing. I know you don't want racers racing back to the yellow for safety reasons, and it was kind of being manipulated by teammates and stuff. But 6 free passes? That seems a bit excessive. Should there be a maximum number? Okay, maybe you get 2, maybe you get 3, but 6? I don't think that's really necessary. You had trouble, you're going to finish laps down. I just sort of think it gives you a false sense of what you accomplished on the day. All right, touched on IndyCar. It's back. It's race week in St. Petersburg. Everyone is excited. I can't wait to get down there to enjoy the opening event of the NTT IndyCar Series season. There's lots of buzz. There's lots of excitement about IndyCar this year and what's going to happen. What kind of racing are we going to see? I think it'll be good. I think it'll be close racing at all the tracks. I mean, everybody's got the same car. They've had the same car for a decade and a half, so everybody knows what they got. It will be the first full season for the hybrid, whatever that means. trying to keep the engine manufacturers happy. But it'll be the first full season, so maybe we'll get a bit of a greater test on the reliability of it. All right, that's fine. I think we'll see the Penske team drivers always in contention. It'll be interesting following Will Power's contract situation all year, because this is the last year of his current contract. The Ganassi teammates of Alex Palou and Scott Dixon, will they be battling for a title? Maybe. Palou's going for 3 and 4 years. Dixie would sure love to have that 7th title. Andretti, yes. Watch for some consistent runs for Andretti. I think that Colton Herta, I think that Kyle Kirkwood will also do well. Marcus Ericsson, yeah, I think that the 3 of them have now sort of become very good teammates. McLaren and their revamped driver lineup, Pato O'Ward, yeah, he's a superstar. He's definitely a superstar. So that's going to be interesting as well. Behind the scenes at IndyCar, how does that change and alter in terms of their course of action? There's little bits of news that have been dropping over the last week that things are happening. Doug Bowles is, of course, the face of not just the Speedway, but also the IndyCar Series now. So he's going to be pushed out front and center because he's a popular guy and a man of the people, if you will. So we'll see where that goes. Released the other day that they're revamping this 100 Days to Indy series that they've done the last couple of years. And it looks like they might finally get it right and not just focus on the Indianapolis 500. It's going to focus on the rest of the season as well. That's smart. Interesting that the Indy Next race director bails before the first race. I don't know. Apparently it wasn't a good fit. So Richard Buck, who was hired in December, is out in February, even before they run the first race. The Fox graphics and TV package, it looks pretty cool. The promos and spots that they've done, pretty cool. Let's see who else is on the broadcast. I'm excited for it. But the St. Pete event, it's terrific. Kicks off on Thursday. They have a party in the park on Thursday evening, and then the on-track action for 3 full days on track with IndyCar, Indy Next, and I'm super stoked to see the MX-5 Cup cars back at St. Petersburg. They weren't there last year, but they're back this year. They put on a sensational show, and just those cars whipping around, driving nose to tail, passing where you don't think passing is possible. Super fun to watch that. In fact, they have their second race of the weekend after IndyCar on Sunday. So if you're coming down, stay for the duration, stay for the second MX-5 Cup race. It'll be worth it. And F1 cars out on track. The preseason testing is beginning as well. Are we going to see what everybody's got, or are we going to see a little sandbagging? And, well, we're just sort of working up to our speed, and the comments will be interesting that come out of Formula One testing, closing in on that first race of the season as well. So there's what we have to look forward to. And in the not too distant future, IMSA's back at it with Sebring as well. Going to be a busy time in motorsports. Thanks for checking out this edition of Speed Chronicles. Don't forget, you can like and subscribe. Please do so. Hit the button and follow us on all the social channels. Enjoy the weekend of racing. Back with you next week.